Yes, you were looking at this correctly. This is the new Thrall fight in Deadly Assault, and Thrall happens to be electric resistance. But how did I get almost 40k with an electric team? Because even though it is electric resistant, it is still a good matchup for this team, because matchups are not element based. And I've been saying this for quite a while on my streams, if you happen to tune into them. But there's a lot of my viewers who can't watch my streams. So they'll leave comments on some of my reviews and say, why is this team doing well when the elements don't match? So I thought this was a perfect time to sit down and talk to you guys about matchups and why they're so much more important than you really think. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Welcome to my channel. My name is ZZZ, and I'll be your host today. Are you looking to get the new agents Lucia and Idari? Or maybe you're someone who wants Vivian or Fufu, but your pulls after 2.2 are looking oof. Don't worry, I got you back. Because lootbar.gg can be saving you big today. As if you click on my exclusive link in the description below, new users can save a total of 23% on the first purchase. And all you have to do is put in your UID, select the bundle you want, and within seconds, it will arrive in game. And all future purchases will be at a discounted rate. Also, this doesn't have to be just for ZZZ, no. As it could be any of your favorite mobile games, such as Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, or Wuthering Waves. So no matter what you play, Lootbar has got you covered. Now, with that out of the way, let's get you back to the video. Now, before we get started, to address the 38k that I showed at the beginning, full transparency, this is my friend's account. I did 3 runs and I took the best run of the 3. Had I grinded it out more, I could have got over 40, but I just took 3 runs and got the best one. The Orphe is M1. Usually Orphe's M1 is a 15% damage increase, but because a lot of Orphe's M1 is also buffing her teammates and it's an electric resistance fight, this M1 is really increasing more towards 8 to 10% rather than 15 like normally. So if we do the quick math on the damage score, even if Orphe was M0, this team would have still scored well over 30 and probably 35k. But why is that? It's electric resistant. There's no fucking way, Kete. How? Well, my friends, that's because of matchups. Yes, Thrall is electric resistance, but he is still a good matchup for the Sanby team. Because when you look at Sanby's premium team, they have a game plan. And their game plan on the vast majority of bosses is to get 3 perfect stun windows for an optimal score. Now there's exceptions to this, but the vast majority of bosses, that's what the Sanby team wants to do. And 3 perfect stuns for this team is having enough resources to do 9 to 12 dashes in the stun with Sanby while also having her ultimate ready. That's what this team wants to accomplish. And the Thrall happens to be a very good fight to do that for Sanby. As long as your trigger has high enough crit rate and is on impact slot 6, she will do enough days to get you 3 stuns. And because this boss has so many parry prompts, it's very easy to have Sanby's ultimate during the stun window as well. So this boss, even though it resists electric, it gives Sanby everything she wants, and that's why it's still a good matchup for her. But what about bad matchups that happen to be on the same element as your carry? Well, guess what, guys? Those exist too. And the easiest one for me to tell you is Hugo. Now, unless you're just a god gamer like my buddy R2 or some of the guys on Billy and can still hit 35 to 45k on Thrall with Hugo at M0, more power to you. But the vast majority of Hugo players are going to struggle against Thrall. Because even though Thrall is Ice Weak, he is not a good matchup for Hugo. Because Hugo cannot stun or totalize the crocodile. And that completely kills Hugo's game plan. Now my buddy Nix has come up with a way to try to alleviate this pressure a little bit to make it slightly easier. But as Thrall's HP increases in the future, it's going to be harder and harder for the average Hugo player to be able to clear this boss with him, even though he's Ice Weak. And that's just because the matchup is not good for him at all. Another good example of this is actually Miyabi against Wandering Hunter. And you might say, wait, what? Miyabi against Wandering Hunter, it's Ice Weak. And I clear perfectly fine. Well, while there are a lot of Miyabi players who can clear Hunter perfectly fine, you'll be shocked if you go on Reddit or Twitter or even in YouTube comment sections. There's a lot of Miyabi mains struggling. And whether you like Pridewind or not, looking at their data, this is data that they have collected from other players. And a lot of Miyabi mains are struggling against Wandering Hunter. And this is because even though it is an Ice Weak fight, it's not a good matchup for Miyabi. It is much harder to get stacks on Wandering Hunter than other fights for Miyabi because its anomaly bar is just bigger. It can no longer be frozen, so the OP mono ice team is nowhere near as strong as it used to be. It can still clear, but it's nowhere near as strong as it used to be on Hunter. And it has 140% defense increase compared to other bosses. So when you factor in all those things, if you are an M0 Miyabi main with just an average build, Lord, I hope you have her signature, because if you don't, like, you're just going to struggle. And that's normal. A lot of people are, because it is not a good matchup for her. Recently on one of my previous account reviews / surgeries, I was helping someone and I saw that they put Ishwin on Miasmic Fiend and they put Miyabi on Wandering Hunter. And I told them, like, oh bro, this is an easy fix for you. You couldn't clear Hunter with your Miyabi, just put her on your Fiend and then put Ishwin on Hunter. Now this player, he was very casual, but he did like to do the in-game for fun. He then asked me, but why is that? Because I saw that it was an Ether Weak fight for Fiend, so I put the Ether Agent against it. It's simply because this player did not understand that matchups are way more important than element matching. Yes, Fiend is Ether Weak, but because Hunter has such a large defense, well, the whole talk about HP inflation just made me crack a little bit because it's really defense inflation. Because Hunter has such a large defense inflation, and because Ishwin is a rupture agent, she ignores defense. She is going to clear Hunter significantly easier and faster than Miyabi ever will. And even though Fiend is not Ice Weak, it is still tailored towards anomaly agents. So Miyabi will have a much easier time clearing Fiend than she will Hunter. And this has also happened in the past on one of my reviews when I was helping a Yanagi player clear their endgame for them. And I saw that they had put Yanagi on Defiler. So I said, oh, this is simple. Let's put your Yanagi on Marionette. I believe that was the boss. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the boss. I know it was an Ice Weak fight. I believe it was there. I believe it was Marionette. But let's put your Yanagi on Marionette, and let's take your Ishwin with Pan and Fufu and put them on Defiler. And they also asked the same thing. Why? Yanagi's electric. Why wouldn't she do better against Defiler? Well, yes, Yanagi is electric, but Defiler takes 25% less anomaly damage, and it's also harder to proc an anomaly on her. And lo and behold, I switched the teams for them, and it was a significantly easier clear. So all in all, it's very simple, guys. When you're going into Deadly Assault or Shiyu Defense, the two current repeatable in-game modes, you got to look at the teams that you have, and you got to ask yourself, what is my team's game plan? And then you look at the boss lineup, and you try and put the team that you have against the boss that will allow your team to execute their game plan the easiest. I know that you're going to probably try and default to just matching the elements like most people do, but that could end up hurting you in the future because they are really doing their damnness to make new bosses have special mechanics, cater towards certain elements, cater towards certain specialties, such as classes, and most importantly, cater towards the on-banner unit, aka shilling. So yes, you might see an Ice Week fight in DA one week and think, okay, I'm gonna put my Miyabi there. But in actuality, she might do better against Typhon. In fact, I'm almost certain she would do better against the Typhon that is also in the DA that week. Because Typhon can be frozen. And since Typhon can be frozen, you can take advantage of a longer stun window with your Miyabi. Notorious Butcher might be in Deadly Assault one week, and you might want to put your Hugo there because he's Ice Week. But what about that Pompeii that's right beside Notorious Butcher? Did you know that Hugo actually has a much easier time getting a higher score on Pompeii, even though he's not Ice Week? It's because it's such a better matchup for Hugo's team. Instead of putting Hugo on Notorious Butcher, go and throw him on Notorious Pompeii, and there's a very good chance you're going to have a significantly easier time because it's a much better matchup for him. Now, I could go through every single agent if you guys wanted me to, but I think that's going to be more suited towards another video in the future. This video was just to quickly tell you guys why element matching might not always be enough in the in-game content currently because of how they're balancing it and catering towards new agents. And even if a new boss tells you they're weak to one element and they're resistant to another, there's a chance that you could have a team that can still do very well against that boss, even if that boss is resistant to their element, aka the Sanby team I just showed you guys towards the beginning. Now, there will be a lot of times where element matching will be your best option, but there will be times where it is not your best option. So learning the teams that you have on your account, best matchups and worst matchups, will allow you to go a very, very far way in the future. Yo, I'm gonna be real, I don't even know what I just said. But moral of the story, learn your team's matchups, learn what's good for them and learn what's bad for them. And again, if you guys want me to make a very long detailed video on this for every single agent, I can do that. It would just take a long ass time to make, but hey, I guess I'm a content creator. I can't complain about that, right? Just do it. But learning your matchups will help you so much. I promise. If you found this video helpful, please share it to all the platforms you use, to all your friends and servers. I greatly appreciate it. Come and check out the streams. I try to stream multiple times every single week. We have a good time there. Join the Discord. We're on our way to 10,000 members. I can't believe it, man. Can't believe it. And be sure to subscribe for more ZZZ content. And as always, my name is Cut to the 7th. And with that, I'm signing out. Peace.